How's it going, guys? It's Dex here to do somewhat a new video. I'm gonna review the part 1 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Phantom Blood. Well, it's called Phantom Blood, but yeah. So every part of JoJo has a subtitle, and part 1 is Phantom Blood. So yeah, I'm gonna do this in 3 episodes, so I can get through Phantom Blood in about 3 videos. And each episode's gonna be recorded after I watch the episode. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this, and let's get started with part 1, episode 1. So episode 1 starts with Jonathan's mother dying and his father getting mugged, or I guess looted, from Dio's dad. I forgot what Dio's dad name was, but yeah, Jonathan's dad, which I believe his name was George Joestar, is basically under the impression that Dio's dad had came to save him, and when in reality Dio's dad was mugging him, which I thought was kind of dumb. But this isn't the extent of George Joestar's stupidity throughout this entire part. After they get mugged, we get about a 12-year time skip, I believe, and then we're shown comparisons between Jonathan's and Dio's life and personality, being that Jonathan comes from this rich family, and even though he does come from this rich family, he really doesn't have any table manners or acts like a gentleman, I guess. As opposed to Dio, whose upbringing was a little on the poor side. He can basically conduct himself. He knows how to talk well, and he has table manners, unlike Jonathan. But he's also like really smart and cunning. He also really hates his dad. I mean, who wouldn't? The guy tried to mug a rich guy, and he drove Dio's mother to an early grave. After this, we get to meet Jonathan's future love interest, or I guess a love interest, Arena Pendleton, I believe. Don't quote me on that. But I know her first name is Arena. I don't remember her last name. I think it was Pendleton, like I said, but I don't know. And Jonathan basically saves her from a couple of bullies who he has no chance against because he's not a fighter. After this, we finally get Dio meeting Jonathan, and their first interaction isn't that bad. It's what Dio does afterwards is kicking Jonathan's dog, Danny, right in the face for no reason. It's stated why later on, that he hates dogs because they basically they love you unconditionally, and he hates that. He hates that dogs love just random ass people. This episode does a good job on telling you why you should hate Dio, and just oof. Let me just tell you, you hate Dio by the end of this episode. He doesn't do extremely bad stuff, but you just hate him by the end of it. Once Dio is basically adopted into the Joestar family, you get a sense of George Joestar loving Dio a lot more than Jonathan, which is kind of funny because fuck George, he's a stupid character. Soon after Jonathan gets his ass kicked by Dio in a boxing match, Jonathan runs into Arena again, and shortly after, they begin their relationship, which is actually kind of adorable, to be honest. But of course, Dio has to go and mess this up by stealing Arena's first kiss, which is funny because then she washes her mouth, and Dio gets mad, and he slaps her, and he realizes his anger is his biggest problem. Once Jonathan finds out what Dio did, he goes after Dio, and they start a fight. Jonathan, of course, not landing a single punch at first, And then once he does, it feels so satisfying to watch Dio get his ass kicked. And then George comes and starts being a bitch. Once Jonathan comes home the next day, it's apparent that Dio killed Danny. Dio killed Jonathan's dog Danny, which just cements Dio as one of the worst characters. Like, worst as in he's a great villain. And just anything. Not anything, but he's just a bad dude. I hate him. I hate him and I love him. But yeah, that was pretty much this episode. And yeah, it's actually a pretty good episode. I'd recommend it. It's not all fighting, but it's pretty enjoyable for what it is. There's also a stone mask, which it becomes important later on. I forgot to mention it because I didn't have to. Okay, so episode 2 starts out with a 7-year time skip. This means that Jonathan and Dio are in their 20s. Either they're in their 20s or they are 20. So this episode picks up with Jack the Ripper. If you don't know who that is, he's a famous serial killer who killed way back in the 1880s or something like that. But yeah, it's set around that time period, so that's JoJo for you. Part 1 JoJo. And we got a little bit of Jonathan and Dio working together in a football or a rugby game, I guess. I don't know if it was football or rugby. It was one of the two. And they're like, oh yeah, we're so good friends. But internally, they're not. They still hate each other for everything. And after this, we get a scene of Jonathan trying to figure out what the mask does from the previous episode. We also find out that it belonged to his mother. And now he wants to know what it does and uncover the secrets of the mask. In this episode as well, we also find out that Dio poisoned his dad, so that's why his dad died. And now he's been slowly poisoning Jonathan's dad, so he can get all the inheritance and then kill Jonathan, so he can't get any of it, and Dio becomes a big strong boy. Once Jonathan finds out this, because they had a talk, he goes to London to try find an antidote for his father, so he don't die. And while he's in London, he gets jumped by a couple of people. One of them, you come to find out that his name is Speedwagon, and he comes and joins the crew, or joins Jonathan in finding a cure. Because Speedwagon's like, oh, he spared me and my friends, so he's a good guy. Let's join him. Dio finds out what the mask does, and he almost gets sucked off. But then it turns out it's morning, so the guy had to go. At the end of this episode, we get the famous meme, the to be continued meme. And I never really knew it was from JoJo until now. I just always saw it as meme. So episode 3 pretty much picks up where the last episode left off, between the conversation between Speedwagons, Joseph, and Dio. But we also get to meet one new character. I don't remember his name, but he's the one who gave Dio the poison. But Jasmine does like to call him Asian Vegeta, because he's got that hairstyle. He really does. And George Joestar finds out that Dio's evil, meaning, and the cops are there for whatever reason. They just kind of showed up already. And Dio gets shot up by the police after putting on the mask. We also find out that Dio's dad got arrested for trying to sell George's ring, but George convinces the police to let Dio's dad go because he gave him the ring, supposedly, even though he really didn't. Dio's dad stole it from him. But George was like, he saved my life. I owe him everything, despite the fact that Dio's dad wasn't there to save his life. And after this, George's dad dies. I got this messed up, but Dio gets, George's dad dies. And on my notes for this, I put George dies and a smiley face, because I really just don't like George. And then from here on out, Speedwagon becomes an exposition dump. He's always explaining what's going on, how it's going on, and at first I found it annoying, because at first I found it annoying, but now I'm starting to warm up to Speedwagon. After this, it's just a bunch of fighting, and they set the house on fire, and Dio basically just fakes his death. Not really, but it's edited. It's made out so you think Dio died, but if you've seen anything else from JoJo, you know he didn't. So yeah, this is where episode 3 leaves off. It's mostly fighting. You do get some conversations, but it's mostly just fighting, which I enjoyed. And yeah, this pretty much wraps up episodes 1 through 3 in part 1 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Let me know if you guys like this. I'll probably continue it because I want to finish part 1, because when I first started watching JoJo, I think I started in like episode 6-ish, and I continued from there. So watching these 3 episodes was the first time I did watch JoJo. Well, I've continued it from the very beginning. And yeah, let me know if you guys want more. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys later.